all the time. I think sometimes you sit with people and you realize that you want their healing more than they want their own healing. They're like, I'm more invested in you being okay than you are invested in you being okay. It says, do you want to get well? Do you really want to get well? Because some of us, we don't want to get well because of the work that it requires to get well. Because of, number one, to say, I want to get well, you need to acknowledge that you are not well. And many of us were not willing to acknowledge that, hey, I have a problem. And I'm realizing that as Christians, we pretend so much that we even pretend with ourselves. We lie to people so much that we end up lying to ourselves unaware. Do you want to get well financially? You say yes. I say, okay, fine, sell, take your car back and walk and take a taxi. So when you say I do want to get well, it's not in what you claim, it's in what you do. Because if you stop improving, you don't get stuck, you regress. You don't pick up from where you stopped. Where you stop, you start regressing.
Before the episode begins, I just wanted to say thank you to Pastor K. My goodness, it blows my mind away how the people I've called on the pod were willing to give a boy like me a chance. I don't have the high quality cameras. I don't have, state of the art backgrounds and things like that, but I'm using what I have. And to have people like Pastor K, people like Apostle Jezili, people like Timbantuli, and the next guest as well, to just say, hey, listen, we'll show up on your podcast, with what you have. For me, that it's just a blessing to me. And I think it's a sermon to someone as well, that maybe you're doing yourself an injustice by waiting for that big phone and the big camera and whatever. Just like shoot your shot with what you have. So thank you to Pastor K. I really do appreciate it. If there's one thing I've learned from my dad, is that you should always value people's attention. And so I never take people's attention very lightly. Like I'm grateful for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, however many people watch, and to have someone spend time with me, just me picking their thoughts, it blows my mind away, So I guess one more thing I wanted to say, this was a very difficult interview for me to do. I'm not going to lie, because number one, I was nervous. I'm going to admit I was nervous. Number two, it's the soundness he has. In fact, I know this is weird, but I was wondering if can we measure the fluidity of soundness? It's just like, because all his answers were so good. It was just like he gave the best explanation. In philosophy, we say that the best explanation is an explanation that needs no further explanation. So my questioning was very difficult, because after he'd say something, I'd be like, I mean, what's more to question there? I mean, that's it, So anyways, this was very tough, but it was really good. Like, make sure you watch it till the end, and like, comment, subscribe, and the most important thing, change someone's life by sharing this. Like, maybe you don't have the money, maybe you don't have, the food to give to someone else, but maybe you could just share this with them, and it will spark something in them that could change their life forever. Anyways, you'll enjoy the episode. Peace. A warm greeting to everyone watching, listening, hearing, all things in the world. Welcome again to another episode of Wisdom Podcast. I brought you guys a very special guest, a super special guest. A lot of people know him as Pastor Koketso, but I know him as bass guitarist Koketso. I know him from the days of Sow D or Soul. In fact, he has to clarify on how exactly do we pronounce that. I just quickly want to share a picture of him. Actually, I hope you guys will be able to see it. If not, I'll post it on our social media platforms. Those were the days I, got to know Pastor Koketso from. We used to attend these back in the days when I see his concerts were 10 rand at the time. Things have changed a lot.
Things have changed, man. Things have become more expensive.
Things have become more expensive.
Yeah.
So
Fortunately, the gospel still costs the same. It costs us nothing.
Hey, we're already 3 minutes into the clip and he's already preaching. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Pastor Koketso Molaolwe. My good sir, how are you?
I'm good, man. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for inviting me. Truly a pleasure. I'm glad we could do this. I'm good. I'm good.
Thank you, sir. Before I get to the question, there's a song, Pastor Koketso, that is not on Apple Music anymore, and Soul D had it out. I want to ask, what happened to "You Make Me Beautiful"? You remember that song?
Yeah. I don't know, eh? I don't know. I guess, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's not up, but I guess it's because when soul stopped existing, we stopped, promoting the music and stuff like that. So yeah. People keep asking me about soul. I'm like, sure, guys. Yeah, I don't even know where the music is. I don't know. Honestly. Yeah.
Okay, I know that's sad, but it's fine. It's fine. We're moving on to better things now. I got some fun questions.
Sure.
So when I did some research about you, you were a DJ back in the days, right?
Correct.
So I'm gonna put in a scenario, which is the first question. I'm gonna put in a scenario, and then I'm gonna ask you to, fill in the blanks. So it is the last day. Jesus has come back, and it's the wedding day. They are calling DJ Koketso on set.
Yeah.
What 3 songs are you playing? It can be secular, it can be gospel, and I'm sure Bufagazi is there, but it's fine. Let me not assume for you.
Oh wow. So I'm called up to play 3 songs.
Yes.
Sure, man. That's a tricky one because I mean with songs, depending on the mood, depending on the season where you're at. Right now, what would I play? Whew. I think there's a song that is out right now. Malimi Asikit. Yeah, it's called Malimi Asikiti. Just came out. Brilliant song. I play that. Yeah, it's simply says I don't have enough tongues, enough words to just tell how God has been so good to me. So I'd play that. Oh man, what would I play? I'll play anything by Manana. I know it's not gospel, but I'll play anything by Manana or Dukwe in there. That's what I'm listening to currently. And I'll play Anesu by Musa Worship. Yeah, it's not out yet. It's coming out next week Friday. So I'll play. Yeah, those are the 3 songs I'll play. Yeah.
You okay? Can I just say to the Muso congregation, you guys have got one of the best pastors. Anyone who listens to Manana is a good pastor. It doesn't matter, G.
Manana is good, man. Manana is good.
That's a beautiful set.
Yeah.
Second question. Who would you want Muso to do a collab with from the Bible besides David and Jesus? So, Muso is taking out an album, okay? And you are now asked, you can pick any character in the Bible to do a collaborate or joint album with you guys. Besides Jesus and David, who would you call on board to a Muso collaboration?
I guess it would have to be I Solomon, for
Okay.
his poetic ability, he was very poetic. So yeah, Solomon.
Yeah, I know you're cooking.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
music is very poetic. The lyrics, how you bring about lyrics. So
Yeah.
you would need someone who's very good with words like that. So I think Solomon, yeah.
By the way, you're also good with words, and I think I get to some of the questions a little bit later on pertaining there. But the
Yeah.
last fun question is: Paul is coming to Muso Church this
Yes.
Sunday. Paul is at Muso Church. What's the topic you are giving him?
Oh man, I would ask him to preach on Romans 7
Okay.
to tell us when he says the things I want to do I don't do and the things I don't want to do I do. Like man, you're talking to us. Would you
Mm.
want to go deeper into that? Because I think that is the experience of almost every Christian. In our Christian walk, at one point, we do things we don't want to do, and we don't to do things that we want to do. We want to obey God, but we end up not obeying Him. We want to be more prayerful, be more word based and everything. But sometimes we struggle with that. And we kind of like ask ourselves, why do I keep going back to the same mess, to the same lifestyle, to the same habits, the same this? Why can't I keep? So I would say to him, man, sit there on that Romans 7 and just kind of like go in on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you on the spot now, and I think what you're addressing now ties in really well with one of the clips that I'm gonna take out, where you were saying, "Don't bother us by making us pray for you when you are going to uh, make bad decisions. Our prayers are not
Yeah.
that powerful."
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was really good. That was really good. I want to know what what pep talk would you have with someone who has, habitual problems, like they keep going back to the same thing, they want to come out but they keep going back to that thing. What how would you go about sitting that person down and be like, this is the strategy, this is where we're going?
And I think it's unique to everyone, but I'm just reminded Jesus coming to this guy who's at the pool of Bethesda and asking him what for many of us might seem like a strange question. He says, do you want to get well? Do you really want to get well? Because some of us we don't want to get well because of the work that it requires to get well. Because of, number one, to say I want to get well, you need to acknowledge that you are not well. And many of us were not willing to acknowledge that, hey, I have a problem. We want to mask it by our intentions. We want to mask it by our potential. We want to mask it with all kinds of different things. But he asked this man, do you want to get well? Because before you can answer the question, I do want to get well, you then need to accept that I'm not okay.
Mm.
And I'm realizing that as Christians, we pretend so much that we even pretend with ourselves. We lie to people so much that we end up lying to ourselves unaware. So I think that would be my point of departure, man. Is like, hey, do you really, really want to get well? Do you want to forfeit the pity you feel every time people give you attention because of this thing? Because also bad habits have a reward. There is an instant reward we get from we don't do bad things because it's fun. We do them because we benefit something, even if that thing in the long term is not good for us, but it's the pleasure in the moment. It is the gratification in the moment. It is that instant gratification that you receive. And that when we ask, do you want to get well? It says, are you willing to forfeit that? Are you willing to forego that for something healthier? Because health in the moment does not look too great. Toxicity in the moment looks great. So are you willing to forfeit this for this one? So I think it's that. It's just people asking themselves, do you really, really want to be well? And are you ready to do what it takes?
Oh,
Because if I sit with you here and say, hey, do you want to get well financially? You say yes. I say, okay, fine, sell, take your car back and walk and take a taxi.
hey, hey.
Downgrade from that apartment in Montana and maybe move to a more cheaper neighborhood. don't go out eating, stop buying clothes for the next 6 months. If I ask you to do those things, will you do that? So when you say I do want to get well, it's not in what you claim, it's in what you do. Are you willing to pay the price? So yeah, that would be my questions. I would lead with questions.
Oh, that is beautiful. And um, okay, this is going to sound very weird, but
Mm,
sometimes people have this, entitlement where they think pastors should invest energy in people just because, they people. And I guess sometimes it becomes very frustrating as a pastor where you are investing in someone, but you can clearly see this person does not want to get well. Have you ever been in
yeah,
a situation where you tried explaining yourself to someone that, hey, this person doesn't want to get well, and they're not seeing that, this
yeah,
person doesn't want to get well?
yeah. All the time, man. All the time. I think sometimes you sit with people and you realize that you want their healing more than they want their own healing. You're like, I'm more invested in you being okay than you are invested in you being okay. So it happens all the time. But I guess the call of being a pastor is that you don't give up on people. You just keep on trying. Obviously, efforts they differ from season to season, but the nature of being a shepherd is that
Hmm.
you just cannot give up on people.
Almost every pastor has this story of, I'm tired, I'm done,
Mm,
I want
mm.
nothing to do with church. Have you ever had that, and what got you back?
I think you have that. I think pastors have that more frequent than you guys would believe. Almost every Monday, you just feel like you want to quit. And it's a lot of things, man. It's a lot of things that get you there. And I think it's just an emotional, pull. When you are preaching and you feel like people are not getting what you are saying, their lifestyle, you're preaching this, their lifestyle they keep producing different fruit to what you are preaching. They receive this word, but the word is not, it's either falling on rocky sand or on thorny sand or in shallow sand. So when you see people whom you're into, but you're not seeing that their lives transformed, it can get frustrating to a point where you feel like, why are we doing this? We're
Yes.
tired, you know. But it is that one person who's gonna come to you and say, "Hey, man, you spoke to me 2 years ago, and it changed my life." That's what keeps you going. Then you're like, okay, at least out of the 2,000, we managed to change the life of one, and then you keep doing it for the one. You keep doing it for the one.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no. Just to say, I am the one when it comes to you, because I started listening to you in 20, I think it was 13. Actually, the first time I saw you, it was at Cornerstone College. You were ushered in
Oh,
by Mr. Jobu, and you were preaching there. And
oh,
you actually came consistently, and the
yeah.
little nuggets you will leave here and there. It really was remarkable. I mean,
Thanks, man.
I look at you, and I'm just like, one day, one day, one day. All right, so this is a very vital question. In fact, for me, this is the next question is one of the most important questions. And
Mm,
if possible, I'd actually ask all Christian podcasts to start this way,
okay.
if it was possible. Pastor Koketso, how did you get saved? Like, can you tell us the story? How did you end up surrendering and being like, you know what, I want Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior?
Um, yeah, man. It was on the 13th of February, 2005. So I was staying with a friend of mine. He just giving me a place to stay here in Pretoria. It was a bachelor flat, and he said to me that Sunday, it was my first week with him, and he said, "One stays behind in my flat. Uh, everyone must go to church." At the time, he was fellowshipping at Bethesda Christian Center in the city. So we went to church together on that Sunday morning, the 13th of February, which happened to be my birthday.
Oh.
And so as the pastor was preaching there, something of destiny in me just felt like, man, there is a bigger life than the one I'm living. It's preaching about Christ and just the forgiveness of us and the atonement of our sins and the life that He's inviting us into when we accept Him as our Lord and our Savior. And I think it was that to just, there's a King who has created this world, and He came and died, and He wants to have a relationship with me. So in my heart, as this guy was preaching, already something was happening. Just that I want that. And when they made an altar call, I knew this was it. It was something of a destiny, man. I knew that I was always meant to be in this moment. And that's how I responded that Sunday afternoon. And I'm born again since 2005, 13th of February.
What role has, I guess, turning your life to Jesus Christ played? Because, and I think the reason I'm asking this is also, I'm also trying to get what's the significance actually, like why accept Him in the first place?
Yeah. I think number one, you from Him you get a sense of identity. A lot of people walk around life not knowing who am I. And if you cannot answer the question of who am I and answer it accurately, no other important question in your life are you gonna be able to answer. If you cannot answer the question of who you are, then how do you become a father? How do you become a husband? How do you become anything if you don't know who you are? Then you are tossed about by things. Everything that comes works for you, it goes for you. And you start finding identity in things, in people, in relationships, and that's how you get broken. So as opposed to coming into a situation and expressing who you are, you try to find yourself in that thing. So now why people walk from one relationship to another trying to find themselves. You won't find yourself in a relationship. They go from one woman to another, one man to another, one job to another, one car to another, trying to find some sense of wholeness, some sense of self. And I think when I got born again, it was the acceptance of God's love and being accepted by God and knowing that I'm a child of God who's loved, who's accepted, who's forgiven, who is whole, who's fearfully and wonderfully made, created in the image and the likeness of God, who has in him the ability to be fruitful, to multiply, and to dominate, who is not the tail but the head, who is created in the same image, who is predestined to conform to the image of the Son, who is the righteousness of God because of what Christ has done. It's all of these things that tell me who I am. So when I get into whatever situation, I know who I am. And that's what salvation has done for me. It has introduced me to who I am. And out of that, I stopped running after things. I stopped chasing after certain things. I stopped finding fulfillment in certain things because I'm rooted in who I am in Christ. I know that if I don't have money, I'm still loved by God. So as a result, I won't go and put myself in debt just to impress people because I know who I am. God. I won't get into a relationship just being lied to by someone saying they love me while they are being abusive towards me because I know what love is because of what the love of God has done. So I think that sense of identity in being saved, man, it saves us from our sins, from the wrath of God, but more importantly, it also saves us from making a lot of bad decisions because a lot of bad decisions they stream out of not knowing who we are. Yeah.
Like, if someone is watching now and they quote unquote feel like they've tried this gospel thing, like they've been doing the church thing, they've been attending church, they've been doing everything right, they've been reading the Bible, but it's almost as if they can't find this whole quote unquote purpose thing you were talking about. How would you advise them to go about discovering your purpose?
What if there was a way for you to feel God first. What do I mean by that? You see, our circumstances, our environment, and even our challenges technically don't have emotions in and of themselves. It is our interpretation towards those circumstances that technically birth emotions in us. So what if there was a way for you to reprogram your mind instead of living on default mode? Because right now, when they're telling you that the economy is going down and the prices are going up, what happens in you is that there is a level of anxiety that arises in you. But what if there was a way for you to reprogram your mind that when they were bringing bad news to you, the first thing that happened to you is that there was an increase in awareness of the ever-present help? My name is Ulungisile Mtshweni, and I am a life coach. And I have developed this 40-day challenge where I help people reprogram their mind so that they feel God first. Two things, okay? Number one, people who pay attention. And so this will be a program that will be charged at 3,000 Rand. This price will not stay like this. This price will definitely be increasing as time goes by. That's one. Number two is that I can only take a limited number of 20 people. We will be doing these challenges a little bit later on as well, but the price will go up there. One more thing. If you want to join this challenge, I'm asking you, quickly head to ulungisilemtshweni.com. It should be somewhere here on the screen. Head to ulungisilemtshweni.com, and I would love to partner up with you as we do this challenge. I can tell you, I did this challenge on day 14. I was crying. I was literally in the bathroom. Anyways, can't wait to see you there. Peace.
I think we discover God, and then we discover who we are in Him, and then we find something to do. And it is when we are serving that we get to discover our purpose. A lot of people don't understand that, man, purpose is discovered in service to others.
Beautiful.
That's why it's not your purpose. It's God's purpose over you. So you don't go out looking to discover your purpose. You go out looking to discover God's purpose over your life. So what does that mean? You don't go around looking for something that's gonna make you happy. You go around looking for something that's gonna fulfill His will. What does He want to do? So a lot of us, we miss our purpose because we are looking for what is going to fulfill us. No, what is going to fulfill? What does God want to do through me to fulfill His will, not my will? So that's how we discover purpose, because it's the purpose of God. He's the one who's created us, and He understood for what purpose was He creating us. So it's in discovering Him, discovering ourselves, and serving others. And it's in the service of others that we discover our purpose.
So for people who have this mindset that I am not a people's person, that person most probably will never ever discover their purpose.
You're not a people's person, you are what person?
I don't know, that's what they say. Like, people say this, that I don't know, I don't do people, I don't like people, I just wanna,
Look, man, I think you find that you are called to serve people through IT, developing softwares and just making other people's lives. You're not interacting with people, but you are serving people. So serving people does not always mean sitting around with people and being an extrovert. You can still serve people even if you are not an extrovert, But it's serving others about living a life that is outside yourself, living a life that is not just inward looking, but it's outward looking. How can I make the lives of others better? How can I show them God? How can they experience God? Because I can tell you this, God is not going to throw miracle money in someone's wardrobe. No. The money He wants to bless someone else, it's in someone else's bank account. And when you move in obedience and serve someone else and be generous to someone else, they experience the faithfulness of God through you.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So there's a
Um,
lot of people who say they have not experienced the faithfulness of God as a result of our disobedience.
whew. And essentially, it's just like it's equivalent to saying, when if Moses was to disobey God,
Yeah.
then the Israelites would still be stuck in Egypt.
Then we have problems. I mean, they will still not be stuck by now. Probably God would have done something else,
Mm,
but it would definitely have delayed the
mm,
process. It would have somehow, I don't know. I mean,
mm.
we're speculating now, but Moses' years mattered in God's plan. Our years matters. Yeah.
Beautiful. There's this thing you like mentioning on podcasts when you go, to different podcasts. You say you are an A-type leader. What does that mean?
So it just means I am result orientated.
Okay.
I'm goal orientated. I'm a tasky. I am motivated by finishing the task. I'm motivated by getting things done. And I'm motivated by efficiency. I love things being done efficiently
Mm.
on time. So those are the things that motivate me. Motivated by, I'm not motivated by the trip we're taking if we're not gonna get there. There are people who would say, "Hey man, it was great that we were on the journey, even if we didn't get there, but at least we were together." Me on the other end, like, "Hey, we need to get there.
Yeah.
If we are not there, what's the point?" Yeah.
Not getting there is not an option for you.
Yeah, no, no, no. Then what are we doing?
It's beautiful. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
no, no, no.
And I'm assuming this is why we even have a Muso Church. This is why we even have the album. It's because when you start something, we are not stopping until it's
Yeah,
done.
absolutely. It has to be done. Big picture. I'm a big picture person. I see further than what I'm looking at. I'm always just thinking about make how do we reach people, how do we reach more people with the gospel?
Yeah.
How do we serve more people and stuff like that. So now the downside of an A-type leader is that you can be so result driven that you don't value people. You see people as a means to an end. People become disposable to you, where you're like, if you are not let me reach the goal, then why are you here?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the downfall of an immature A-type personality leader. So there's different maturity levels of being an A-type or any kind of leader. So you have, for example, a C-type leader who are people orientated and not goal orientated. An A-type leader, sometimes they hurt people. An immature A-type leader hurts people because they're just focused on the results. A C-type personality leader, they love people, they rally everyone, but sometimes they're not reaching any goal.
Ish.
It's kumbaya, it's nice, everyone loves them, it's nice,
Yeah.
but they're not reaching any goal.
Mm.
The A-type leader is reaching goals, but no one likes them. People just want to quit when they are done with the task. And in maturing is the ability to bring alongside a mature A-type leader is the one who's able to bring alongside people, care for them, and reach the goal with the people without losing anyone along the way.
Do you have experience with, like, well, I'm assuming you do, like, being in immature days where you hurt people along the way, where you're
Yeah,
just like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah,
listen,
yeah,
chief,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
how
yeah,
did
for
you how
sure,
did
for
you
sure.
I guess mature up, if you did mature up, or was it just life
Yeah,
happening that caused you to mature up?
I think feedback is what helped me mature because I was that. I was just, I don't care what people feel as long as we are winning. I don't, even when I was playing board games, I was like, if we are losing, how is it fun? I don't play board games for fun. Why? We need to win. How is it fun if we are not winning? And I think feedback from people saying, hey man, listen, um, when you said 1, 2, 3, it was not kind, you know, and you grow and then you realize, okay, maybe I could have said the same thing in a better way.
Mm.
The message, the intention was good, but the message could have been delivered better. So feedback, I think feedback is the breakfast of champions, like they say. If you are a leader who does not get feedback, you are on one way to self-sabotage you. So
Ooh.
you need people who are around you, are honest enough to tell you the truth and say, hey, you're a good leader, but you have blind spots here and there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So it's almost as if I'm seeing two worlds. So like you're a visionary. You're saying this is where we're going.
Yeah.
Like, how did you take feedback from people who are not seeing what you are seeing? I mean, if you are seeing it that I'm going there and you are here walking with me, you don't see what I see. So why am I listening to you? What got you to actually sit down and be like, maybe they have a point?
Yeah. It's because I'm realizing that while I'm looking forward, I am not looking at blind spots.
Okay.
And that's where the accident is going to happen. The accident is not going to happen where I'm looking. It's going to happen where I'm not looking, where my blind spots. And I rely then on the people around me to check the blind spots. So I need to be intentional about placing people whose sole responsibility is to check blind spots. Like now, there's a guy in my life. His job is to just check my humility levels.
Yeah.
That's what I've appointed him for. I said, you just need to make sure I don't lose it. So if you see me say something that does not come across as humble, point it out.
Yeah. And how did he take I don't know, how did you take the job? Because I mean, I feel like that's a
Yeah.
very huge responsibility. It's just like,
Yeah. Yeah, no, we have a good relationship, and he says, man, I'll do it with pleasure. Because he loves what God has called me to do more than he loves me.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's like if I'm offending you, it's fine. But I'm not gonna allow you to disobey God.
Ooh.
Yeah. So you need someone in your life who would rather lose you as a friend than you lose yourself before God.
Ooh.
Than to maintain a friendship that is based on you disobeying God. So they are maintaining a good relationship with you, but you are actually living in disobedience to God and they are not saying anything.
Ooh.
Yeah, that will be strange.
I don't know if you can speak into this, but if you can, please do. Please tell us how dangerous it is to marry a man who does not have someone who will keep them accountable. Let alone, I think it even applies even to men who marry a woman.
And you know, the one of the things that is very, very strong that God gave us as men, I think, is our ego. It's our egos that make us hunt. It's our egos that makes us go out there and be adventurous and be ambitious, be all of these things. I think it's a God-given thing. But when it is not matured, when it's not, well developed, that sense of ego does not know when to stop. It does not know when to stop. It wants to hunt continuously. It wants to run continuously. It wants to be in adventure continuously. It wants to, you understand? That is why you can be married to one woman, but you still want more women.
Ooh.
You can have one, you are succeeding in one place, but you want to conquer in multiple places.
Yeah.
You want to run, you want speed, you want all of this. And so you need someone who is able then to say to you, hey, slow down, think about this, who's able to help you live outside that ego, right? Now, if you're going to get into a relationship with a man who does not have anyone they respect or anyone they fear, whom you can call upon when you guys are disagreeing, then you are in trouble.
Ish.
Because when the ego has taken over, the guy is not listening, what do?
Okay.
You need someone that you can give a call to and say, hey, man, we are not seeing eye to eye. We have tried to reason this thing, it's not working. I know this guy listens to you. Can you come and sit with us and let's talk?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. Oh,
Otherwise, if you marry someone who listens to no one, man, you're in trouble.
they'll essentially want to
Even
guard over you.
yeah, no, they will lord over you. Yeah, no, absolutely. You need, especially us as men, man. We need people who can speak into our lives. Otherwise, we become tyrants. We become tyrants.
Okay. Yeah, no. I think I'm moving on to the two more questions and then I think I'll be done. Um so I know you're a songwriter as well. I wanna
Mm,
know, how do you like, how does the process of songwriting go? Does it, is it is it similar as preparing for a sermon, or is it something
mm.
totally different?
Totally different. I think it's an artistic expression that does not have a formula. Every time I've sat down to try and write a song intentionally, I've failed. Songs have always come to me spontaneously, and then out of the spontaneous could come, I could get a phrase first, a melody first, or a hook first, or a piece of lyric. Maybe I'm watching a movie, and then the soundtrack plays. As a soundtrack is playing on the video of the movie, and then I start singing over it, and then that's a song. I was just watching a movie, or I hear just a word someone saying in a sermon, and then it catches me, and then the song. So it's a creative process that it's very dynamic.
Mm.
Um, and then you can sit down, and then we can then work through the technicality to say, okay, fine, how do we make the words singable? How do we get the right pace for the song, the right lead? So all those things you can plan, but the composition of the song itself, for me, I don't have a formula. It
Yeah.
it's very it varies.
And so essentially how you write is basically you have to live life. If you don't live life, then you
Yeah,
won't have song.
yeah, yeah. My phone, my the one of the most valuable tools I have is my recorder on the phone,
Mm.
because at least even if I'm at the airport, I can just quickly record something that comes to my head. At night, I can wake up in the middle of the night. I don't know how many times my wife has had to ask herself, "Where's this guy going?" Because I'd hear a melody while I'm sleeping, and then I'll have to wake up and go and record it. Then I'll go downstairs and then I'll record it, and then yeah.
Pastor Koketso, you write, I'm sure you write so many songs. By any chance, and I'm asking for the public now, will we ever get to hear you sing one?
No, 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 no. You won't. I can't sing.
Okay,
I
will we ever get to hear a bass solo from you? That's actually interesting.
I don't play anymore either.
Really?
I play only when I'm writing.
Okay.
And I think that's one thing about music, man. It's similar to anything in life. Uh, one of the guys who was teaching me how to play bass said to me, uh, if you don't practice a week, you will know it. If you don't practice 2 weeks, some will know it. If you don't practice for 3 weeks, the audience will know it. So it's that thing. If you have not, and it's like that in life. If you try to wing things,
Oh,
you can only do it so long until people notice that, no, he's winging it. He keeps on repeating, because with the instrument, there's lines that you play. So if you are not practicing, you start playing the same lines over and over again. So you don't notice that you're actually playing the same lines over and over again, but the audience does. So it's the same in life. If you go around life winging it, just because you are getting results doesn't mean people cannot see that you are not prepared.
ooh.
People will see that, nah, this one is not preparing anymore. Yeah. So I stopped practicing. I stopped practicing
Oh,
how to play
okay.
bass. So I can't play that well anymore. I
Okay.
play enough to write the songs, but I can't play like proper way now, No, no, I can't.
I actually had a question here where I was gonna ask, what life lesson do you think you got from,
Yeah.
the bass guitar? Would that be the answer to?
Yeah. Don't stop practicing in life. Anything that you feel like you're called to do, whatever space you are called to do, don't stop learning. Don't stop improving yourself. Because if you stop improving, you don't get stuck. You regress.
Yo,
You don't pick up from where you stopped. Where you stop, you start regressing. And so it moves backwards. So don't stop practicing. Whatever space you find yourself, don't stop practicing.
Yeah, that's powerful. You don't get stuck. You regress. You move back.
Yeah. No. You don't stop. When you
Wow.
stop, when you stop practicing, you don't get stuck. You regress.
Powerful. I know I said two more. Last two more. Please tell us just this much about your upcoming book. I don't know when it's coming out, but I saw you were speaking on I think it was Bumli Joaba's podcast. You said there's a possibility you'll write a book. Just this much about the book.
Yeah, no, I think the book is pretty much our story, my story. How do I find myself where I'm at today? And the title of the book is Unlikely Candidate, because I think I am the most unlikely candidate to be where I'm at today.
Oh.
And I feel like a lot of us feel like unlikely candidates in life. We don't see ourselves doing it big. I want to share that story of just the underdog who just was unlikely candidate for the life that I'm living right now. And what do I want to do with it? What do I want to achieve? I want people to look at themselves and be able to say, hey, God can also do something through my life. Yeah. So it's a very honest book, just tells my story with the hope that it will inspire someone to say, hey man, if God can do it through this guy with this messed up background, he surely can do it with me. Yeah.
Okay. Last question, then I'm done.
Mm.
So there's a conference you normally host every single year. Please tell us a little bit about that conference, which will be the last question. Yeah.
So you're talking about what's your next?
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're doing it for the second time this year, and I think the idea with the conference is to bring around the table, people who are doing great things for the kingdom of God, where they can come and just share with us how they're doing it. How are they allowing themselves to be used by God the way they are used by God? What can we learn from them? What are some of the challenges they've faced, and all such things. So it is really a conference that is aimed at igniting, people to take their next step. That's why I said, what is your next summit? What just to that sense of dreaming in people, to ignite that sense of dreaming and say, hey man, what is your next step, and how do we come alongside you and encourage you to take your next step?
Yo, how did the conference come about? Yeah.
I think I've just always attended conferences across the world. And I've just been inspired by the magnitude at which people do conferencing, and I wanted us to have something that is we have like Passion Conference, Elevation Conference, we have the Alpha Conference. Those are annual conferences that are really impacting people in a big way. So I was like, you know what, let's have something like that. Ours, yeah.
Yes. So it's going international.
That's the aim. We're trusting the Lord for that.
A-type leadership. I'm so excited. I can't wait for that.
No, thanks, man.
I truly can't wait for that. Pastor Koketso, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. I know you're a
Thanks,
very
my
busy
friend.
man. You're a
Thanks,
very
my
busy
friend.
man.
Thanks, my friend.
Yeah, I'm hoping one of these Sundays, I've been promising to come. I'm hoping one of these Sundays I can come and actually see you.
Yeah.
It would be great.
No, man. Thank you so much for having me. Truly appreciate it. Enjoyed our conversation, and may God continue to use this platform to impact more lives.
Thank you very much. Wisdom
Thank you,
Podcast.
sir.
There it is, Pastor Koketso. Please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. It's honestly been amazing, and I'm so glad I could serve you guys by showing you and bringing you all these guests you have seen. So please make sure you share it with your friends. Until the next time, peace. We be. Every
every believer needs KFC. Now, I'm not talking about the chicken, but if you want to buy me some, feel free. Okay. This concept is taken from the Hebrew boys. You see, they had the knowledge that God can, they had the faith that God will, and they also had the commitment that even if he does not, Nebuchadnezzar, we still won't bow. Anyone who knows Wisdom Podcast knows that we create content for revolutionaries because our mandate is serving a revelation that energizes a revolution. And if you want to be part of this movement, you can get yourself one of these amazing, amazing, amazing sweaters. Okay? So what you are seeing right now is you are seeing the back of the sweater. And at the back, there's this phrase that's written, why every believer needs KFC. Because I preached a sermon on this. It's on podcast. It's on our podcast platforms. It's on YouTube. It's on whatever. So if someone comes to you and asks you, why does someone need KFC? You just simply ask them to scan this QR code and it'll take them straight to the sermon I did on this particular topic. Now, one more thing. Okay? If you want to get yourself one of these, just simply look at the caption here or check out the bio. There should be some form of information on how you can get yourself one of these. Peace. We be.